Right now, there are two bills cruising through the Congress which seriously undermine the internet and erode the net as a platform for job-creating innovation. Websites fundamental to our ability to express new ideas, to advance speech, and more fully empower our democracy, like Daily Kos, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, are all seriously threatened by these bills. We just cannot let that happen. The internet is the great equalizer. Its power to democratize ideas and information gives all Americans voice, and every entrepreneur, every thinker, and every innovator has the opportunity to make sure their views and ideas compete alongside all of those big money interests. The internet is reshaping the way society is organized and the way our commerce is conducted. I call the internet the shipping lane of the 21st century. But the internet is now under attack by business models from the last century and the government institutions that are captive to those special interests. It's up to all of us to confront this misguided agenda head on. We need to expose it, and we need to stop it. The reality is, by congressional time, the internet is pretty young, and that is why it is that much more important that folks like yourselves with real expertise call and write and explain why the internet is so important and why the Congress needs to get these issues right. Thanks to all of you for each phone call, letter, and tweet to public officials. Because of you, the tide of public opinion is beginning to turn our way. Your voices are less and less likely to be crowded out by these well-heeled special interest groups in Washington, D.C., who seem intent on occupying the net to protect their narrow corporate interests. We've got to make sure that the broad values, the broad priorities of the internet are protected. It's my job in the Congress to not only stop the misguided bills that are now in the House and the Senate, but also to create a solution that makes sense. This week, working with a bipartisan group of senators and congresspersons, we proposed a discussion draft of an alternative proposal for tackling copyright infringement without breaking the net. With your continued efforts, my colleagues here in the Congress will realize that a free and open internet is something that we as Americans ought to celebrate. We ought to celebrate it and protect it and not allow these special moneyed interests to quash what makes the internet so special. With your continued determination, my colleagues in the Congress will realize that PIPA and SOPA are the wrong way to go. They're the wrong approach for protecting intellectual property because the price they enact on the internet and what we're trying to do to innovate is too high. Only with your help and activism can these misguided bills be prevented from reaching the floor of the House and the Senate. I want you to know that if they do get to the floor of the United States Senate, and certainly the Senate bill in its present form, you can count on me to stand up for your views and for the value of an open internet so that people all over the globe can be part of communicating with each other, sharing ideas, and innovating the way to a better future.